नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम टू माय चैनल. This is the pre-market report for 1st September 2025. That is for the coming Monday. So let us start with our analysis from FnO data. So in the FnO data, we are going to cover what all the index future and the stock option futures and longs carried by the market participants for Monday. So how to read this data? So Thursday means the previous day, Friday means the last trading day, and the total means what are the positions. If you combine both this Thursday and Friday, and what is the positions carried for Monday by the market participants. तो हम लोग शुरू करते हैं इंडेक्स फ्यूचर से. तो इंडेक्स फ्यूचर में हम लोग देखेगा तो रिटेलर्स ने और इंडेक्स लॉन्ग्स ऐड कर दिए कुछ 2600 लॉट्स और उनका टोटल रह गया 1.3 lakhs. This is a huge number. This is not good for market. And DII, so they've added negligible contract only. However, their total index longs still they're holding around 36,000. FA, they added additional 6,600 contracts and their total reached to 1.75 lakhs. This is not at all good for the market. And pros, they purchased around 3,300 contracts and their total reached to 8,000 contracts. So overall, I would say this data is bearish because FA is fully bearish on index futures, and the major index long contributor is retailers. एंड इंडेक्स कॉल में हम लोग देखेगा तो इंडेक्स कॉल में रिटेलर्स और लॉन्ग ऐड कर दिए इंडेक्स लॉन्ग्स और उनका टोटल इंडेक्स कॉल लॉन्ग्स पहुंच गया 1.39 lakhs. This is also a high number, and not much activity from DA. FAs and pros, they added additional shorts. FA added around 29,000 core shorts, and pros also added 15,000 contracts on the short side. So FA, their index call shorts reached to 75,000 and pros almost 65,000. So this data is also bearish because retailers are the one which they are carrying the index call longs. और हम लोग इंडेक्स पुट में देखेंगे तो इंडेक्स पुट ये महत्वपूर्ण डाटा है. ये जो इंडेक्स कॉल से ज़्यादा हमें इंडेक्स पुट का डाटा देखना चाहिए हमेशा. इंडेक्स पुट में हम लोग देखेगा तो रिटेलर्स और 84 ऑलमोस्ट 85,000 इंडेक्स पुट शॉर्ट कर दिया और उनका टोटल जो पुट शॉर्ट पहुंच गया करीब 5 लाख, अराउंड 5 lakhs. This is huge number. This is not at all good for market up momentum. And both the FA and pros, they are on net long in index put. So FA, they are carrying 2.75 lakhs index put longs, and pros are carrying 1.87 lakh index put long. You can see here a negligible buying of 10,000 contract by FA, but this is not going to add any value. So overall, I will say that this data is bearish because retailers are carrying heavy index put writing, and both pros and FAs they are index stock future में भी देख लेते हैं उसमें क्या कारोबार हुआ. Stock future में you can see other than DA, all the participants they added longs. If you look here, FA they added around 25,000 contracts. Their overall future longs reached to 13.69. तो ये कुछ और बता रहे हैं. हम लोग देखेगा तो जो इंडेक्स कॉल और इंडेक्स पुट का डाटा बेरिश है, लेकिन ये डाटा बुलिश है. अगर हमारा मार्केट इतना खराब है तो एफए क्यों फ्यूचर ऐड करना है, उनको ये भी शॉर्ट करना था. तो आई वुड कंसिडर दिस डाटा एज बुलिश स्टॉक फ्यूचर्स. Stock call again, retailers added additional call longs, and both the participants, FA and pros, they've added shorts, but these volumes are less. So you can say this data is bearish, but it is not having much volume. But retailers are the one which is carrying index call longs. Index put, यहाँ पे भी रिटेलर्स ने बुलिश पोजीशंस ऐड कर दिया. उन्होंने फिर से इंडेक्स पुट शॉर्ट करके रखा है. उनका टोटल जो पुट शॉर्ट पहुंच गया 2.45 lakhs. whereas pros are the major sellers in the stock put option. They are holding 2.16 lakh stock put longs. So overall I will say that this data is bearish because retailers are the one carrying bullish, but stock put, it is not carrying much weightage as index put. So to conclude here, so the data looks bearish, but stock futures looks bullish. So if in case, I mean, because of the retailers bullish positions, market has to come down. It has to take a dip to force exit the retailers ultra bullish positions. Then only an up move can happen. And the cash market data, if you see here, so DA they purchased massive 11,500 crore, whereas FA once again their net sellers they sold around 8,300 crore. So rest of the selling around 3,000 crore selling it is done by pros and retailers. So and we will also take an overview of the market what happened on 29th August. If you see here, almost all the indexes they were in deep red. India Wix surprisingly, this is the biggest scheme. Surprisingly, India Wix crashed almost 3.5 percentage. If India Wix crashing, ideally, the market should have moved up. But this is the game played by biggies. क्योंकि इनको पता है जब मार्केट नीचे आता है जो पुट का प्रीमियम बढ़ना चाहिए, लेकिन क्या है जो पुट का प्रीमियम ज़्यादा बढ़ने नहीं दिए इन लोगों ने विक्स को क्रैश कर दिया. इसलिए अगर कोई पुट खरीद भी लिया होगा तो उनको पूरा फायदा नहीं मिला होगा. And another bad news is that if you look at the INR closing, rupee has weakened further. So I am marking it in green. But this is a very bad closing for Indian rupee. Indian rupee weakened further against dollar. It has crossed 88 rupees. So this is the highest, I believe, in the recent times. So this shows the economical weakness. So if INR is not coming down, so if it is coming around 85, 86, then we can consider that our economy is doing good. And crude, you can see some mild negativity in crude. Natural gas, it is also flat only. And I also wanted to bring your attention some of the bulk deals I saw on 29th August. So you can see Eternal, Manappuram, Lemon Tree, Sriram Finance, Apollo Hospital, V-Guard, Lloyd Enterprises. Why I'm saying is that these can be considered for swing trading, okay? Because we can see that some of the stocks like Eternal heavy buying happen. This is in the form of bulk deals. And another is that Lloyd Enterprise, you can see around 1.46 crore share. Some big players they bought it. Similarly, V-Guard Industries also, there is you can see a high volume in V-Guard Industries. Manappuram Finance also you can see, and all these stocks these stocks can be in momentum on Monday. Just watch out for this one. And the top Nifty 50 gainers and losses, you can see Sriram Finance, like the ITC, Trend, Bharat Electronics, Larsen Tobro and all. Top losses, you can see Mahindra and Mahindra, Infosys. At one point, I wanted to bring your attention, like IT stocks. What happened is that so on last Friday, this the PC inflation data came, so that is it is in line with the expectation, but there is a concern that Fed may not cut the rates. So if there is no rate cut, then it is negative for IT stocks. So better wait for a clarity in the IT stocks. In the long run, you can hold IT. IT will move up, but then in the short period, there is an uncertainty in the IT stocks. So better avoid it. Yeah, let us also take a look at some of the stock specific news. So I'm not going to cover it fully. You can pause the video and you can read this news. So these news flows will help you to understand whether some of these stocks can move up or down. But I wanted to just call out, so all the FMCG stocks, so these stocks can be in momentum on Monday or for the next till the GST council meeting happens, because most of the stocks in the FMCG sector they'll they'll be benefited from the lower GST. Similarly for Trend also, so Trend will get some benefit from the lower GST on apparel and footwear. So the trend momentum can also continue. Watch out for these stocks. And at the end, I also wanted to bring two positive news on Adani Power. One, it came yesterday, and one, it came today. So yesterday, the news was that, so Adani Power, they are going to put up 2,400 megawatt thermal plant in Bihar. So that is the first positive news. I think Adani Power, it has already rallied on last Friday, but the rally will continue because they've also got another order from MP Power Management Company. This is in Madhya Pradesh, so they have to develop an 800 megawatt thermal power plant in Madhya Pradesh, and they will invest around 10,500 crore. So in the longer time, Adani Power, it will be in focus, and this is positive for Adani Power. Then one other news is that GST rationalization. The expectations reduce GST rates on FMCG products. It will be good for stocks like ITC, Trend and other FMCG sector. Just watch out these sectors. Yeah, let us also take a quick look at the technical view and market outlook for Monday. So if you look at the Nifty, the support and resistance, please pause and watch it carefully because I'll read it a bit faster. Okay. So the support levels are 24 250 to 350. This is a 200 EMA and the previous lows. So before you make any fresh shorts below these levels, always watchful because the market was continuously falling for the past 1 week. अगर इससे नीचे डिसिसिवली निफ्टी ब्रेक किया तो शॉर्ट करना, नहीं तो शॉर्ट नहीं करना. जो रेसिस्टेंस है 24,500 टू 24,700 है. अगर एक बार 24,700 को मार्केट पार करने में कामयाब रहा तो एक शॉर्ट कवरिंग भी आ सकते हैं. और निफ्टी का पीसीआर है 0.54. दिस इज इंडिकेटिंग ओवरसोल्ड टेरिटरी एंड ए बाउंस इज वेरी मच नीडेड. For Bank Nifty, the support levels from 53,500 to 53,700. 53,500 will act as a strong support. I don't think Bank Nifty will break below 53,500. If it breaks, that will be a disaster. Okay, so if that is broken, then you will be able to see 52,900 to 52,400 in the near term itself. And the key resistance is 53,900 to 54,220. If Bank Nifty is able to move above 54,000, then you can see a recovery, and you can see some good up move. It can go up to 54,500 to 54,700 levels. So let us see whether Bank Nifty moves on Monday. And Sensex also, the key support levels are 79,500 to 79,700, and the resistance is 80,000 to 80,500. So if Sensex is moving above 80,000, you can see a quick up move up to 80,500. And 80,600 is a key level for bulls. Once the 80,600, if Sensex is able to cross, it can reach 81,000 on the same day itself. Yeah, some sectoral information. As I already mentioned, FMCG might continue to outperform. तो FMCG स्टॉक को शॉर्ट नहीं करना, चाहे लॉन्ग कर सकते हैं आप लोग. सो एंड ऑटो ये लगा रह सकते हैं. सो या सो एंड जब कोई भी ट्रेड करते हैं, जो स्टॉप लॉस का बिना इसमें हमारे इंडेक्स में ट्रेड करना है, खतरा से खाली नहीं है. तो अभी तो माहौल इतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो ज़्यादा इसमें बुलिश होना और ज़्यादा बेरिश होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. अगर लेवल सपोर्ट ब्रेक हो तो शॉर्ट कर लो, और जो रेजिस्टेंस ब्रेक हो तो लॉन्ग कर लो, और कुछ नहीं है. और फाइनल व्यू मेरा यही है कि ये जब शॉर्ट टर्म में डाउन ट्रेंड है, लेकिन ये जो ओवरसोल्ड टेरिटरी में है, इसलिए एक रिलीफ लाइन आना चाहिए. तो या एफए जो आउटफ्लो है सबसे बड़ा कंसर्न है, और जो रिटेलर का जो अल्ट्रा अल्ट्रा बुलिश पोजीशन है, ये दोनों मार्केट के ऊपर प्रेशर डालते हैं. I also wanted to cover the GDP because a lot of news flows are there. Okay, that the Trump passed away and all, those are all fake news. Okay, similarly, जो GDP के ऊपर भी कुछ बहुत सारे जो सोशल मीडिया पे कमेंट आया हुआ है, सारे सेक्टर खराब चल रहे हैं, फिर भी ये जो मैनिपुलेटेड और ये फैब्रिकेटेड जीडीपी डाटे. मैं इसके ऊपर एक टेबल आप लोगों को प्रसन्न करना चाहते हैं. मैं अपना ग्रुप में बाद में डाल दूंगा एक टेबल बना के, कौन कौन सी सेक्टर में कौन कौन सी पैरामीटर में अच्छा ही है, कौन कौन सी सेक्टर जो बुरा चल रहे. विद दैट, टेक केयर फ्रेंड्स, बाय, सी यू.